Ducks Unlimited Television is brought to you by Drake Waterfowl Systems, innovators in waterfowl hunting.
Hello again from Ducks Unlimited Television. For 2 years in a row, we'd be hard-pressed to select a more successful venue than Saskatchewan. And the importance of Saskatchewan's habitats to the well-being of North American waterfowl cannot be disputed. We're rounding out our time there with Field Hudnall and the experts at Grant Piper's Buck Paradise Lodge. Next on DUTV.
Day one, we hunted out of ground blinds and we hunted a huge field. Day two is a completely different setup. We hunted a really small field and we decided to go with traditional A-frame style blinds.
Never been shot at.
Look at her, just that little trot.
Little short prance. We set the blinds up basically in a low dip, a shallow area. And then we had two high rises on both sides. We ran the decoys up on these high ridges, and those are what we wanted to set up as our landing zones. We were hoping that having these blinds down in this lower dip, we were going to be a little bit lower profile, and they should come in with no problems. Oh yeah, left side, left side.
A lot better, a lot better. Those two finished.
Field, I've enjoyed working with him once before. He hasn't changed at all. In fact, if anything, he's got more passionate about doing what he is doing, which is being a part of carrying the message about waterfowl and waterfowl conservation and doing it through a hunting audience. But boy, he's committed to the resource and obviously committed to DU and waterfowl conservation.
Oh, here we go. One's coming. They're all coming.
The majority of the geese coming to this field were all honkers. They were big geese. We didn't really see a lot of lessers going in this field, so our setup was going to be completely different. Typically when you hunt lessers, you want to use a lot of decoys and you'll actually pack them in a lot tighter. When you hunt big geese, you want to have larger landing zones and spread the decoys out just a little bit more because they like to have a lot more room to land in.
Ducks Unlimited Television, presented by Drake Waterfowl Systems, innovators in waterfowl hunting, is also brought to you by Mossy Oak Shadow Grass Blades and Ducks Unlimited's Rescue Our Wetlands campaign, banding together for waterfowl.
Take him. Nice. Good shot, Jay. Man, I'm taking your dog back with me. She is awesome, man.
Joining us on this hunt was also Jace, who is one of Grant's guides. And Jace has this little black female lab named Tika. She's bringing back these big old honkers like it's nothing. And I'm sitting here thinking, man, this dog's got some experience. And I asked him, I go, Jace, how old's your dog? He looks and he goes, she's not even 2 years old yet. This was Jace's first dog he's ever trained himself. I think it's safe to say he might have a future in dog training if he wanted to.
Got a group coming right here on the right. They covered ground. They're here You got them right. We've set the decoys out actually away from the blind. When you ground blind hunt, a lot of times you pile the decoys around you, not in this case. We've got the decoys actually up on the high points, and that's where we want the geese to target to land. And we've actually got the blinds kind of in this lower draw, so we do help break the profile up a little bit. But it works out great. The tops are open, so ideally, when you have a good wind, you want those geese to stay out in front of you, stay low, and come right in. Sometimes they will drift over the top of you, and really, as long as you don't move, they normally don't pick you out. It's worked great so far. It's been a great morning. They might just come right in. Without even calling. They're coming.
And they're low enough that the blinds won't bother them, I don't think.
Ready, Phil? Let's take them.
There wasn't a time when we didn't have at least some birds in the sky. This is just an indication of what's going on at this time of year. The birds are here. First couple weeks of October are the prime migration for Prairie Canada. In this area here where Grant's got his operation and on the landscape, boy, you can sure see the bounty of production of waterfowl this year. Okay, gotta get at least a couple out here.
Thank you. That was cool. All right, that was a way to finish. That was awesome. All right, man. This left side over here, we get it done. Just saying. I don't know if I hit anything. There's a lot of steel in the air. I mean, the way they came in, the way they sounded, they do those fast clucks, like click, 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 click. Perfect. All you got to do is not mess it up. That was good. That was awesome. That's a good way to finish it up.
Ducks Unlimited's conservation work is for the ducks. But did you know that our projects benefit hunters too? DU and its many partners, including state and federal conservation agencies, and thousands of farmers, ranchers, and other landowners, have conserved more than 13 million acres of wildlife habitat across North America. That habitat provides places for waterfowl to breed, nest, migrate, and winter. All that habitat helps put ducks in the sky during the hunting seasons. But many DU projects are also open to public hunting. In the U.S., around 1.9 million acres of land that DU has helped conserve are open to the public. Many of these are wildlife management areas, national wildlife refuges, and other public lands. Ducks Unlimited Canada owns more than 300,000 acres north of the border, and virtually all of it is open for public hunting. Through our policy work in Washington and at other levels of government, we also actively support legislation and programs that expand public hunting opportunities. Thanks to your support, our work is helping put ducks in the sky and hunting access on the ground. You can find more information about areas open to hunting on our website at ducks.org.
DU Insights is brought to you by Mossy Oak Properties. Find your favorite place at mossyoakproperties.com. DUTV is powered by Mossberg Firearms, built rugged, proudly American, Mossy Oak Properties, America's land specialist, and Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs.
During our hunts up here, no two hunts were alike, and that went right along with the last day as well. Completely different scenario. This field actually already been worked over. There wasn't a whole lot of stubble. And it was a unique field because it was a real deep bowl, and you had higher ridges and the tree lines as barriers on how these geese are actually going to work. Along with those challenges, we have a crew with us today. All of Grant's guides joined us in the field, and Grant joined us as well, which is a lot of fun because you got more people in the field and it makes short work of setting up big spreads and brushing blinds. Right off the bat, we had this group of speckled bellies. They came in and they did it textbook.
Get ready. Very nice.
Did they finish good?
That was awesome. Look at that one barred up.
I mean, it was absolutely beautiful, and everybody shot well.
Look, kennel.
Big group on the left.
Might be the final pass, boys.
They don't even know we're here.
I figure we might as well take them because they just
Well,
kept.
they give us 4 or 5 passes.
Yeah.
They're there. There's no wind. They may do that on us too. We're gonna have them come in like those speckles did.
There's 3 ways to lead a flying target. I think everybody should try to learn at least a couple of them. The one we all start with is the swing through, where you paint the bird out of the sky. The muzzle comes from behind the target, moves through it, and if you pass the bird right here, pull the trigger, keep moving. Paint it out of the sky, what the British call butt, belly, beak, bang. It's a great method for birds that are in close. When you start to look at longer targets, a method that works really well for me is maintained lead or diminished lead. Target never gets to the gun. You start it here, out in front, move it with the bird. When you feel the right lead, you pull the trigger. Has the advantage of making the bird seem like it's moving a lot slower than if you try to catch it and pass it. Finally, there's pull away, and it's the one a lot of sporting clays shooters use. It's a method that takes advantage of your eye-hand coordination. You start the muzzle on the bird, move with it, stretch out that lead, and when it feels right, you pull the trigger. Again, that's a lot better method for longer range targets than the swing through is. I swung through that target because it was close and that felt right to me. If it had been farther away, I might have shot maintained lead. But there's 3 ways to lead a duck. Try to learn 2, practice those, you'll be ready for any shot you'll see in the field.
DUTV is powered by Biologic, scientifically proven wildlife products. Buck Gardner Calls, champion of champions. Native nurseries, hand-selected, hand-grown plants for wildlife, with closed captioning provided by Honeybreak Lodge. World-class accommodations in wing shooting on the Louisiana Bayou.
The biggest thing that I see when people come up to me and they want to learn how to blow a duck call properly is they've gotten started and the sound they got wasn't exactly what they wanted, so they had to growl into it to make it sound a little more ducky. And what I mean is, somebody, when I learned it, was say the word quit, and if you just say that, that really doesn't sound like a mallard hen. So what most people do is they jump in with that and they'll say, and they'll, oh yeah, put some voice grunt into it. And, oh, that's a whole lot better. But it's like taking the wrong exit off the interstate of trying to learn how, because once you start growling into a duck call, you really can never do what you need to do, and that is air control, blow a duck call. Because when a baby duck's born, she can't quack, she whistles just like a turkey poult or a little baby chick. She'll say, Mama duck will say the same thing, but her voice has changed. She'll say, and if you can't do that, then you're never going to be able to do all the things that you need to do to sound like a duck. So learn how to control your air. Instead of making that quack, just control your air, force it in, and a younger duck, older duck. Easy to do, just force your air in there properly and control it the right way.
Duck Tactics has been presented by Buck Gardner Calls, champion of champions.
Grant, I tell you what, buddy, this hunt here's been the icing on the cake. Lots of birds, got all your guides with us.
Yep.
More guides, we can set more decoys.
Getting close to the end of our season, so yeah, it was good to get the boys out and do some shooting with them and
I know
actually
this
hunt with them.
It's been the only time you've been able to hunt with us. You've been a busy man combining.
Yeah, trying to just finish up the harvest. It was a little bit late this year too, but all good, we're getting it.
Yeah.
And, waterfowl hunting's been excellent, so it's been a great fall.
Man, it's been a great trip for us. We really appreciate y'all having us up here.
Appreciate you guys coming up and everything that DU does. And
yes, sir.
It's awesome.
Comes a bunch above a pile.
Hey.
Joining us on all these hunts was Barkley Fisher. And to come up here and hunt with Barkley again was a real pleasure, because Barkley's one of those guys that you don't feel like you're hunting with a guide. You feel like you're hunting with one of your buddies that you've known your whole life.
We've got another beautiful morning. The only thing is we don't have a lot of wind. In fact, we hardly have any wind. So these geese, they're working all different directions, but this setup we have is awesome. It's a really small field. We're kind of down in a bowl, but when these geese are working and when they do it right, I mean, they're literally right out front and center. Some beautiful specks. We had a group of specks this morning, just do it, textbook. So great morning. We've already had some great shooting. A lot of birds moving around. So we're gonna see how the rest of the morning finishes off. Take them.
Good shot there on that far bird. Cleaned them up, guys. Good job.
Take them.
Nice.
This place has always been special, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're lucky. It's just one of the first stops for the migration, and they love to decoy good, and it's just makes for great hunting.
It's been a while since I've been up here, man, but this place hasn't changed.
Good.
Y'all still got the geese.
Special thanks to Grant Kuipers and the folks at Buck's Paradise for helping us make great outdoor television. Until next time, hunt safe, take a kid hunting, and check us out online at ducks.org. Thanks for supporting Ducks Unlimited.